Hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Wellness Day, a podcast coming to you every Wednesday here from the Jahangir Wellness Center. My name is Kavas Jahangir, and today from the JWC studio, I have a very special guest today. I have an industry leader. I have got Meher Padamji, who is the chairperson of Thermax, an incredible company that does everything of energy solutions and green solutions based on water, electricity, and many, many things. And first of all, thank you so much for being here and welcome to the show,
Thank
Meher.
you. Thanks for inviting me. Thanks a lot.
Absolutely. And well, you know what we do over here, we're talking about wellness and so forth. But a lot of people might be wondering why we're talking to someone who is a hard or the chairperson of a huge industrial company. But what I wanted to touch upon today is really the aspect about what Thermax can do and what it does in terms of green solutions and overall macro level wellness, so to speak, on how that can actually translate down to the individual. Because I've been talking to a lot of people, a lot of doctors and a lot of therapists, and it's all about one-to-one, what they
Right.
can do for the individual. But Thermax does that for the society. So I thought it'd be nice to talk to you
Sure.
about that.
Sure. My pleasure. Thank you.
Absolutely.
So Thermax is really into sustainability,
Right.
sustainable solutions in energy and environment. And so basically, what is sustainability? It's
Right.
the ability to meet the needs of today
Yeah.
without compromising the needs of future generations. Yeah. So it's to do with environmental sustainability, social sustainability. And we are a company that looks at transforming businesses that want to move into clean energy, clean
Right.
air, and clean water. And so we are doing it through providing a whole bunch of utilities.
Okay.
And so if I can take examples.
Please, that's
so
what we want.
we look at, say, for example, if there's any waste, is there a calorific value in the waste?
Okay.
And can we convert that waste into something of value?
Right.
So, say, for example, in a paper industry, there's a huge amount of waste that takes place. Now, what they do is they actually send this waste through a truck to a cement factory that's closest and they burn it in the kiln.
Okay. Yeah.
So instead of doing that, we found that there was calorific value in the waste. So we said, why don't we? And the industry also needs steam and it needs power.
Right.
So we said, can we do a captive solution for the paper industry using this waste as a fuel to produce steam, which also produces power? So it's a all-in-one
Absolutely. Yeah.
solution for that industry.
Right.
Yeah, so we've sorted out many different environmental impacts through a sustainable solution.
That's incredible. Have you seen that? How that? Sorry to
Sorry.
interrupt before we
Yeah,
get to your
no,
next
no
example.
Yeah.
How you seen that actually impact the society?
I mean, it's, first of all, it's reducing a huge amount of waste. It's reducing, we have diesel trucks conveying it
Yeah.
miles. So you're reducing a lot of fuel.
Right.
You're helping the country by saving, because we import most of our energy.
Yeah.
So you're saving foreign exchange
Right.
for the country.
Yeah.
Of course, there's pollution when you have something that's moving from one place to another. There's pollution when you even burn the paper waste.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So we supply the air pollution control equipment that actually takes out this pollution, so which helps in terms of health of humans.
That is so. I mean, important nowadays, especially with people actually visibly seeing
Correct.
the air pollution,
Air pollution.
deteriorating.
So another air pollution solution, which I love, but we haven't yet come to the right yields.
Okay. Oh, I was going to ask you questions about what you're excited for in the future.
Yeah,
let's
but
get to that.
this is a lovely. I mean, if we were to really get it right for India,
Yeah.
you've heard of stubble burning in Delhi
Yeah.
and Punjab.
Right.
And that causes so much pollution. And I was just reading or seeing a video of a doctor mentioning that he's actually seeing lungs which are black in color of people in the north. Now, it could be due to pollution and many other
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
And so we've come out with a solution that actually converts this stubble into bio-CNG, which can be used for mobility.
Okay.
So again, you're saving the country foreign exchange.
Right.
you are looking at energy security for India, and you're helping with pollution and you're saving lives. So indirectly, sustainability is all about that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. There was one, actually, when you were starting to talk, you mentioned social sustainability.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, what do you mean by that?
So social sustainability really means how do you look at the equity, how do you look at equity, inclusion, dignity of labor.
Right.
And in our ecosystem, actually we started, some of us got together and started something called the Social Compact during COVID.
Okay.
If you remember during COVID, in the on television, you saw so many migrant laborers walking back to
Oh, yeah,
homes
absolutely. Yeah, yeah.
when COVID suddenly hit
Right,
and
right.
transportation came to a halt.
halt.
And it was horrible seeing this. And we all thought that what the hell can we do? I'm sure many of these laborers are part of our ecosystem, you know, and what is it that we as industry can do? There must be something small that we can do in our ecosystem.
Yeah.
So anyway, taking it forward, today we're part of a social enterprise called SOCOM Solutions, and we've signed up basically to 5 outcomes
Okay.
or 6 outcomes.
Right.
How do we really move from minimum wages to living wages for the informal and our contract laborers?
Okay.
Migrant
Yeah, yeah.
laborers, who are not on the rolls of our companies, but are very much part of
Part
our
of it.
system.
Yeah.
The second is how do we look at safety of these people? Because very often, if they're not on your rolls, safety doesn't matter. But they are human beings.
Yeah.
Third, how do we look at various government schemes that they are entitled to?
Right.
Fourth, how do we give equal pay for men and women doing the same job? How do we upskill them so that they can, do
Absolutely.
earn more and do better
Yeah.
for themselves? And so things like that. So SOCOM Solutions actually goes to industry and tries to help them
Right.
in sorting out these concerns or challenges, because we genuinely believe that a responsible business is a successful business in the long run.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. So
100%.
that's social sustainability.
Right. Okay. And then you also talked about, or you put these into buckets of air, water, waste, and
Right.
things like that. Do you have, at Thermax, do you have a particular focus or priority area or that you look at particularly, or you kind of try and spread it
No,
across?
I think energy and environment.
Okay.
And we have a third, which is chemicals.
Okay.
Yeah. But in the energy bucket, we'll have heating, cooling, power, waste to energy,
Yeah.
all that coming in.
Right.
Then in the environment, we have water and air.
Yeah.
And then you have the chemical bucket, where you're looking at construction chemicals, we're looking at ion exchange resins
Right.
for treating water, for treating waste. So we have these 3 buckets that we look at. And so we're looking at the entire business through these 3.
Okay.
Yeah. And we've just started a new business, when I say just about 4 or 5 years ago,
Okay.
which is the Green Solutions business.
Lovely. Yeah.
And there, all our businesses have a lot of element of green, but we've started this separately for solar, wind, and batteries.
Okay.
So we actually put up these plants. The second we've done is bio-CNG,
Right.
which is converting biomass waste into bio-CNG, or converting municipal solid waste. That's another thing,
Okay.
Kavas.
Yeah.
So many of our cities, including Pune,
Yeah.
has got so much garbage and
Absolutely.
filth around.
Yeah.
First of all, I wish we would segregate at home.
That's good. I was coming to that.
Yeah, but I mean, apart from, say, an Indore, who's done it very successfully,
Okay.
I wish Pune would start doing it. I really wish. But anyway, so how do you convert this municipal solid waste into electricity,
Right.
into bio-CNG? So we do that.
Okay.
Yeah. And so there are different ways of looking at the 3 buckets
Right.
or the 4 buckets. And the other one in Green Solutions is we still sell steam instead of selling a boiler.
So the actual
So
steam,
we're-
so to speak.
So this is the steam. So we put up the plant,
Okay.
but it's a green plant, which means it will only use green fuel. It
Right.
won't use fossil fuels.
Okay.
So it uses biomass, and we set it up, and then we sell steam as a service.
Okay. So that's how Thermax lets off their steam then.
Pushing our problem to somebody else.
Well, that's quite fascinating that you sell the steam
Yeah.
or sort of pass on the steam.
Correct.
That's quite. I've not thought of that as
Yeah.
a solution as well.
Correct.
How-
Because everybody doesn't want to use, many companies don't want to use their capital for a utility.
Yeah.
They would rather use their capital to put into a food and beverage plant
right.
or what they are good at.
Yeah.
And the utilities can be given to somebody who's good at it and can come in and put the utility
That
up.
makes sense.
And then they just buy the steam as they consume.
Right. Right. And you're providing that solution then.
Provide, yeah.
That's
exactly.
fascinating.
Yeah.
So for green solutions, then what is it that you would love to see in the next 3 to 5 years as a green solution that perhaps is not here today?
We only just started.
Right.
So I would love to see it growing. We've also started green hydrogen over there. Now,
Okay.
green hydrogen is going to take some time.
And how does that translate to practical use? Like in what? In
Oh,
what
so,
aspects?
many hard to abate industries give out carbon dioxide, when when they produce whatever they produce. And so how do we actually use hydrogen instead of using, say, coal, which is a fossil fuel, which gives out more CO2,
Right.
whereas hydrogen gives out no CO2. So how do we use hydrogen in hard to abate industries instead of using fossil fuels?
Okay.
So everybody world over is looking at hydrogen as the next savior.
Okay.
But
Yeah,
it's
that's
very expensive right now. So I think till such time as technology comes in, till such time as there's a demand,
I suppose like solar, like what
like
solar
what
was
happened to solar.
10,
Exactly.
15 years ago.
Exactly.
Right.
So like 15 years ago, solar was, I remember, 15 and 16 rupees
Okay.
per unit.
Right.
Today it's come down to 2.5, 3
Wow.
rupees.
Well, hopefully we
Yeah.
see that in hydrogen
Correct.
in the future
Correct.
as well.
That's right. That's
But it's incredible that you're at the cutting edge of potential and solutions of green and sustainability that are there today.
Yeah.
In your opinion, or I mean, as I said, you're seeing all this at the industry level and then, pushing the boundaries for society. At a person level, do you get to, or what are the kind of things that you can incorporate at home that you see that would be helpful for people to do?
I think little things. And I
Like,
think
like segregation was one of them.
segregation is one of them.
Yeah.
Exactly. Switching off lights.
Right.
Um,
It's such a simple
buying
thing that,
such a simple thing. Or shutting a tap.
right.
I mean, my mom, as I was growing up, kept saying, shut it off before, while you're
your
brushing your teeth.
Yeah.
Why leave it on? Or even when guys are shaving,
Yeah.
I often see the tap on.
Right, yeah.
Or, we now have dehumidifiers in Pune.
Yeah.
There's so much water that they collect.
I didn't realize that
So
until
yeah,
I started
so
using
take
them.
that water and I always put it into a bucket so that she can use it for
Oh,
cleaning
that's a
the
great
house.
idea. Actually, I didn't even think of that.
No,
That's like
rather
such
than
a
just
simple.
throwing it away. Yeah. So just
Sustainable
little
thing.
things. And also I think when we are buying stuff, look for 5-star rating. Because that is really
Is that actually
energy
Is that actually translate to,
absolutely.
or is it just something that people put as marketing gimmicks?
No.
Okay, so people actually should
5-star
actually look at that.
rating. Yeah, you should look at it. In fact, homes now, I don't know about India, but
Yeah.
overseas,
Right.
homes are also have a 5-star
Yeah, yeah.
rating or an energy rating.
Yeah. No, they've got them for buildings and so
For
forth.
buildings,
yeah.
yeah. So green buildings,
Exactly.
green factories.
Right.
There's so much that can be done. So I think, just small things. But if each one of us did something small,
Yeah.
you multiply it by millions of people.
Exactly. And it has such a huge
It's
effect.
such
And
a
then again,
huge
it comes back to your own personal wellness and how it can affect
Absolutely.
your own health
Correct.
and benefit.
Yeah. Yep.
And you're extremely
Including your own wellness, as you said.
Yeah.
So can you exercise?
Yeah.
Instead of using the car to go short distance, can you walk?
Walk.
Only thing is, I wish our pavements were in a better shape
to be able
than
to
they
do
are.
that. So that actually comes to my next question for you particularly. You're such a busy person, being the chairperson of Thermax, and everything that you've talked about is so cool and really what the society needs. How do you spend your time in terms of staying well mentally and physically?
I do my exercise regularly.
Okay.
Do I really enjoy it? Probably not, but I think it's good for me.
Yeah.
And so whenever I'm in Pune, I try and do it 3 times a week
Right.
with a gym instructor.
Okay.
I used to sing in a choir
Okay.
for over 25 years.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we gave up during COVID,
Okay.
but I hope to start again
Right.
because I think that's great for the soul.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I also spend a lot of time in philanthropy.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Where
It's
I
a
feel
lovely,
that
lovely
the
thing.
return on investment is infinite.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So spend a lot of time with my dog, my family,
Right.
my friends. I enjoy meeting people.
I like that you
So-
prioritize dog and then and then family.
Kavas, I was never a dog lover.
Okay.
And it's just that Lara came into our life
Okay.
as a tiny little puppy, which we picked up from the street
Right.
2 months before COVID struck.
Okay.
And so she
I have
was
seen. I
like
remember I saw
the-
pictures and
yeah,
videos
She
of.
was the center of attraction, and she really kept the family together
And
during
that's
COVID.
exactly what it is. It does so much for your mental
Absolutely.
wellness.
Absolutely. I'm just seeing here music therapy, effective aid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then my last question, since we're talking about mental wellness and mental
Hmm.
well-being, as I said, you're the chairperson of Thermax, and I can imagine being a very stressful job sometimes. So what do you do to de-stress? Because I'm sure there are a lot of people in your position who are,
Yeah.
in the industry that.
I think the first, of course, and I should say it the first because it is the first, is my family.
Yeah.
And I'm very lucky to have Feroz, who's
Right.
also in the business and who understands what we're both going through.
Yeah.
So having someone to talk to, my mom who's been through it.
She's an absolute stalwart.
Absolutely.
Absolute.
My children now
Yeah.
who are also in the business.
Right.
So it's a huge de-stressor to be able to talk to someone. That's
Yeah,
one.
yeah, hugely.
Then, of course, my doggy, who genuinely, I mean, if I go out for an hour and come back, it's like, you haven't met me in days. Where are you? So that's a lovely feeling.
Yeah.
Then my music.
Okay.
I love listening to music,
Right.
and hopefully we'll get into a
Right.
choir
Of
soon.
course.
Yeah. Then my philanthropy.
Yeah, absolutely. And that is such a hugely.
It's,
We must commend you for everything that you all do for that.
No, not at all. I mean, it's really, really to
Yeah.
see something and to learn so much from it. I mean, it's a lovely feeling.
Absolutely.
Very lovely feeling.
Well, it's been fascinating talking to you, Meher. Thank you
Thanks,
so much
Thomas. Thank you.
for being here. Everything that you do at Thermax, the impact that it has at the personal level, at the society level, at the nation level that you talked about, and then even beyond that now at the global level. So it's what you're doing is absolutely incredible and fully behind you. And hopefully, as you said, and it's young today in terms of the green solutions, but hopefully it will be leading us into wellness long
have a
into the
great
future.
team. And
So-
that's what matters.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much
Thank
again
you.
for being here.
Thanks a lot.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you all for joining for this week's episode. But before you leave, do not forget to hit the like and subscribe button here at the bottom. Thank you.